Grand Rising Kings and Queens, Trap Witch here in Atlanta, Georgia, coming to bring you a new moon in Aries reading for April 5th, 2019. For those of you who know me, welcome back. I am the Trap Witch. You can follow me on Instagram. If you don't know me, it is instagram.com/ the Trap Witch, TheTrapWitch. I am an intercessory intuitive healer. I am someone who, I don't consider myself a light worker. I consider myself a bridge, someone who has no problem going into the shadows for people, helping them dig out the power, dig out the tools that they need in order to be able to find their inner strength, their inner divinity, in order to help them become better intuitives, to overcome any obstacles that life might be throwing at them. All of us have been born with a multitude of talents, gifts, and things that we can develop over the period of our life. And I am someone who likes to put the mirror up to people as a daughter of Ochun in the Lukumi tradition and show people maybe what they haven't seen. In themselves, and also sometimes someone who is like a friend with a heart that understands, that can also put up the mirror, show you the stuff that's not so great about yourself in a loving way, and help you overcome that, because without overcoming our blockages, we will never get to our blessings. So we have just concluded the Mercury retrograde in Pisces. It is Aries season, but man, does shit still feel a little bit slow. Now, one thing that I find that's really amazing, that seems really uncommon for us, is that in March we had a full moon in Libra, and upcoming now again in April we have another full moon in Libra. To me, that's just like mind blowing. 2 months in a row, we're gonna have full moon in Libra. And Aries season, Aries season is all about fire, and often we just want to full throttle head just go. Aries is the baby of the zodiac, and I feel sometimes when Aries season hits, we want to like run after things prematurely. We want full speed ahead, but there's something coming off of this Mercury retrograde and now being in the shadow that's still saying, just a little bit longer, just a little bit, just a little time between that new moon and that full moon, and we're going to get to this new beginning. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a reading to ask how we can maximize this energy for the new moon in Aries for April 5th, 2019. And for those of you who are interested in working with me one-on-one, I will be going on a break until June 6th. So right now I'm booking for after June 6th if you feel compelled. I always tell people, if you've been hovering over the button, go ahead, book you a session. You can get on my books now for June forward, because I'm already like preparing to get back on it after my break. For those of you who don't know, I'll be initiating as a what we call the Iyawo, or the Iyawo. I can never say it right. Iyawo. Year in White. My mouth is not gonna work with me tonight. Year in White, anyone who's a practitioner of the Lukumi tradition to become a Santera has to go through a year in White, a year-long initiation for their commitment to their practice. And so I'm going to be entering into that, and I'm going to do my best to still serve my community while still taking care of myself. So that break is going to help me get into that transition. So those of you who have been along with me for the ride thus far, witnessing me in my journey, I appreciate you greatly for rocking and riding with me. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to working with a lot of y'all still one-on-one when I get back. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna recommend you get you a notebook. I'm known to drop some good shit occasionally, during this reading. I do channel intuitively. I'm going to be using some new cards. I'm going to challenge myself today. I bought some new cards today. It is going to be from the Hip Chick Tarot. I found this at my local metaphysical store today. They kind of called to me a bit. So I'm going to challenge myself. We're going to divine from the Hip Chick Tarot along with the Law of Attraction Tarot. And if I need any more clarity, we'll we'll complement with some angel cards, and I'll probably close out with a devotional. For those of you who follow me, know I love to fucking divine with a devotional because we can divine with anything over here. So make yourself comfortable, get you a drink, get you something to just chill and relax in, get your notebook, and let's just get our minds right. I know that Mercury retrograde had a lot of people. I actually don't find the actual retrograde to be too challenging. I always find the shadow period before and after a little bit challenging. So as we're in this up until like around April 16th, right before that full moon again in Libra, because what I personally feel, I'm not trying to read too much into the astrology, but I feel that having two full moons in Libra, so by the way, my moon sign is in Libra, I feel like we're getting that really last revision before it is all systems go. And it's like Libra surrounding love, relationships, partnerships, all of these things. Before we had full speed ahead in Aries season, we're going to get a chance to slow it down a little bit, I feel, before it's all, like I said, all systems go. So I'm really interested to see what Spirit has to say about this new moon this coming week and what we should be considering and thinking about in this time, okay? So here goes nothing, y'all. Let's put that over there. I'm just dropping everything already. Un momento. We're just gonna have to rip and run as Spirit calls it. I'm over here dropping stuff, y'all. All right, we are back. Life throws stuff at us. We just gotta roll with the punches. Over here spilling water and stuff. Maybe the ancestors wanted their libations poured out right before we started. We're okay with that though, right? All right. Spirit, we call you in on behalf of the collective, and we ask for the highest good of all those involved with harm to none. We ask for clarity. We ask for clear perception. We ask Alegua to open the roads to precise, clear messages. At this time, what is it subconsciously below the surface, beyond the veil, that could facilitate in the collective's highest good? Allow us to overcome barriers, obstacles of the physical, spiritual, emotional, or mental kind, and allow us to transcend them to be in alignment with love, happiness, peace of mind, good health, prosperity, and all forms of abundance that are due to us. We call on my spirit guides, my Egun, my ancestors, ascended masters, archangels of benevolence to assist in helping us gauge with clarity how can we best maximize this new moon in Aries, April 5th, 2019, to the utmost of our capacity, so that we use our energy to the utmost of its potential with good intention and attention to the right things. Ashe. Uno. Dos. Tres. These cards are really interesting. Let's put some clarity. Okay. Like I said, I'm pulling from this new deck that I got, the Hip Chick Tarot. They're really interesting cards to me. So the first card is Child of Earth reverse. Child of Earth. We have a child, we have a river, we have the earth, we have some mountains. And the first thing that comes to me is really the river and the mountains in the background, right? I immediately think about how a river or the mountain here can be an obstacle. The child looking at the globe, right? There are going to be a lot of obstacles, right? A lot of obstacles in life in order to gain the world. Reverse, right? One of the things that comes is that in order to stay in a place of innocence of what we want to obtain, what we have to gain, what we want to hold within our hands, right? We have to be prepared for the obstacles ahead of us. It's not easy to cross a river. It is not easy to scale a mountain. But guess what? Anything that you desire, right? Nothing is going to stop you from obtaining that. And especially when you keep a sense of childlike wonder, you understand that the world is yours. And it's 10:10, Ashe. It's 10:10 p.m. here in Atlanta as I say that. 10:10, okay? We're going to go right there to that. Because I feel I got to hit you with that 10:10 angel number. Look. 10:10. Look, I was looking at bougie definition earlier during a session. 10:10 angel number. Angel number 10:10. Angel number 10:10 indicates that it is a time of personal development, spiritual awakening, and enlightenment. Keep your thoughts, focus, and intentions on your soul mission and your life purpose, and your elevated vibrations will attract abundance and positive energies into your life. Use affirmations and maintain a positive attitude to draw towards you all that you need along your path. Trust your inner wisdom, intuition, and the guidance from the angels, and take positive action in the direction of your dreams and desires. Angel number 1010 encourages you to keep the beliefs, thoughts, and mindset focused upon your spirituality and your life purpose as you are now creating your own reality. Engage yourself in creative and positive endeavors and activities, and use your personal skills and talents in a productive manner. Listen to the guidance from the angels and your intuition, and serve your soul mission with passion and enthusiasm. Angel number 1010 urges you to pay attention to your intuition, thoughts, and impressions as they are revealing the answers to your prayers and providing guidance. Trust yourself, the angels, and the universal energies, and take direction and action as guided. Step out of your comfort zone and into the direction of your true desires, and know and believe that you will find success and happiness. Angel number 1010 tells that you will find personal success and fulfillment in your endeavors. So what's beautiful about me seeing that 1010 as we're looking at this card, and what stands out is take positive action in the direction and dreams of your desires, right? And maintaining a positive attitude. Look at this, right? The song that came into my head was, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby, right? Ain't nothing gonna stop me from getting to you. What is the world that you want to live in? The world that you want to obtain, and the world that you want to hold within your hands? It is going to be imperative that you keep a childlike sense of wonder and listening to your intuition and listening to all of these things that I just said about angel number 1010 in order to get that and in order to obtain that. Let's look up the words to that song. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough. If you need me, call me no matter where you are, no matter how far. Don't worry, baby. Just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry because there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you. Understand, you have so much divine guidance that if you keep that childlike sense of wonder and that inner child alive with you throughout your whole journey, it doesn't matter how motherfucking wide that river is, you're gonna get across. It don't matter how high that mountain is, you're gonna get across, right? And so below there, reverse, because some of y'all, maybe with this coming up reverse, some of y'all are not embracing what it's gonna take for you to get to it. What is it gonna take for the world to be yours? The world that you desire to be yours. Like Tony Montana said in Scarface, the world is yours. But look, just like Tony came fresh off the boat off of Cuba, and he landed in the US of A, and he had to have this sense of innocence, though, although he ended up in a lot of corruption, but still, the world he wanted to create, he created it. And he had to have a lot of charisma, okay? What does the word charisma mean? I feel like I need to drop that all on your charisma definition. Charisma. Charisma, compelling attractiveness or charm that can inspire devotion in others. A divinely conferred power or talent. What does conferred mean? Confer, grant or bestow. So underneath of that, an example, moves were made to confer an honorary degree on her. So in order for y'all to have this world that you desire conferred within your hands, you are going to have to use your and your talent, your gifts, your inner being, your intuition to be able to get to that. And so below that, we have this card from the Law of Attraction Tarot, the two dolphins reverse. Okay? Dolphins. The first thing that came to my mind with this is, dolphins have a unique sense of communication, like echo. Okay? Is it called like echo communication? And I feel like what I feel like about this world that you're wanting to obtain and these obstacles that you're going to encounter, there's going to have to be a way that you can communicate within yourself and to your guides in a way that you know that even though there might be a lot of waters you have to cross, the sun is there in the background. The sun, you will get to it, right? Echo communication. Is that the word? Echo communication? Dolphin communication. So dolphin language and communication. Communication, strictly meaning, involves the transmission and feedback of coded messages. However, the complexity of the communication processes seem to be exclusive to the human race. Despite this, it is clear that dolphins have a sophisticated communication system, which is the reason for their success against predators. In short, dolphins survive because they communicate with each other, and this allows them to organize and cooperate to increase the probabilities of survival. How do dolphins communicate? Dolphins communicate through the emission and reception of sounds. Each dolphin develops its distinctive sound since the first years of life. All individuals produce a unique sound which is different to the others so that they can fully identify each other. Okay? We're not going to get too deep into that, wrapped into that, but the thing that sticks out the most is the transmission and feedback of coded messages. Understand, right? Your intuition, your higher self, being in touch with being present in regardless of your obstacles and the things that might come in between you and your goals and the world that you want to obtain. If you learn how to decode the messages that spirit is giving you, right? There's something within us, and that's our inner GPS, which is our intuition. There's something that in nature that when you are lost tells you, you know what, let me try and go left. Let me try and follow the sound of my higher self, where it's guiding me and the things that I do need to get to. And it is complex. A lot of people, right? A lot of people feel like they're waiting for the sound of God to come down, okay? They think God is just going to come down and be like, beholdeth, here I guide you this way to get to the world of your desires. And it's not like that. You have to be so attentive. It's such a complex system of communication where it's like paying attention to the numbers, paying attention to the bugs, paying attention to the music of synchronicities that are coming on the radio. You're talking about something and a song comes on. All of these things are guiding you in the correct direction, but you have to really maintain the sense of, you know what? I'm not going to get so down on myself when these obstacles get in between me and what I'm trying to do. Let's pull a card on top of that. Gifts from God. We angels bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. I really feel like gifts, right? The gifts come to you often when you're in the valley, when you're trying to cross the river, when you're trying to get over the mountain. There are gifts that are being that are being communicated to you, but you do have to open yourself. You have to open yourself to that communication. You have to be open to what it is that is trying to be communicated to you so that you can create the bridge to cross it, right? Second card is Child of Create. And it's so funny because the last reading, which was the full moon in Libra for March 2019, I talked about the fucking rainbow bridge. I talked about the rainbow. And now that we have this card, sounds like you got to create your rainbow. You got to create your bridge. Often when we see the rainbow, we are always reminded of the rainbow with the pot of gold at the end of it. And what this card says to me is that at times you're going to have to create the rainbow bridge by staying positive, by staying full of wonder. Those obstacles, that river, that mountain, when you start to listen to the song, Ain't No Mountain High, Ain't No Valley Low, Ain't No River Wide, you have to imagine singing that song as if you're singing it to your higher self. Nothing is going to stop me from getting to you. Nothing is going to stop me from getting to the world of which I want to create. Nothing is going to stop me from creating this rainbow bridge that bridges me to the pot of gold, to the prosperity that is waiting for me. But the card underneath of it, right? It's a person, right? And look at the storm. And look at this tree in front of him. And look at all this lightning. And it's kind of a scary scene, isn't it? But guess what, right? How do rainbows form? Rainbows are often formed after rain. And this is such a fucking reiteration of the full moon in Libra for March. I literally said, you cannot have a rainbow without rain. And so, how are you going to take the rain, turn it into sunshine, and create your bridge? How are you going to create the bridge past the obstacles, past the storm, past anything that wants to come and wants to rain on your parade, right? Let's pull a card in between on top of that. You are safe. Ache. Archangel Michael, I'm protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. Insecurity. Insecurity allows us to often, how do I word this? Do not let insecurity keep you from taking what you have within yourself, the power you have available, the tools you have available in order to build the bridge of security over the storm, over the obstacles, over the things that are trying to keep you from the highest version of yourself, your highest versions of success, and also getting to obtaining the world that you want to create and the world that you want to hold in your hands. So many times, obstacles come in your way to test your sense of security. When we think about fucking Billy Goat Gruff and the goats that were trying to go over the bridge and the troll under the bridge, when we think about all the stories were often these things that come to test our desires to cross over, right? Because a lot of us are in a place of transition right now, and I feel that. I feel like a lot of us are standing at the edge of the riverbank. We're standing in the valley. We're standing at part of the mountain below, and we're like, God damn it, how do I get over this? A lot of these things that come outwardly to threaten our sense of security, they come to allow us to overcome ourselves. Think about that obstacle as something within yourself that you must overcome. And sometimes it seems scary, right? Seems scary. But guess what? Goliath was nothing that David could not overcome. Even when you think about the story of Three Billy Goats Gruff, the troll was not something that the goats could not overcome. If you have the desire to overcome and to ascend, and you are secure that you will begin to slowly release the addiction and the anxiety that you feel that you don't have it within you, to come up with the solutions and the ideas that you can't. Because the third card, right? 8 of Think. It's a woman. She's got her hood up. She's got sunglasses on. I love that she's to me the word that came to mind was incognito. Let's look up the word incognito. Incognito. Definition. A person having one's true identity concealed. Especially to avoid notice or formal attentions. Okay? I feel like with that and what I'm hearing about the word incognito, right? She's got her shades on. And I just hear blind to the bullshit, concealed from the bullshit. Her hood up. Like she's just ready to go unnoticed, right? Go past these things unnoticed. That's what I hear, right? And that's a lot of what I feel from also um, what I said about overcoming, right? Sometimes to overcome something, we have to believe that we can go past it truly unnoticed, because there's the ability to move past a situation without even it really how do I word it, like without to move past it in a way where it's just like, oh wow, that was easy. I think that what keeps a lot of us from overcoming, surpassing, and going past these things just really relatively unnoticed is our anxiety and our addiction, right? That cause for being on top of our addictions instead of being grounded in what we're secure in, right? To me, like with her, she's just like really cool, and she's just like, I think about like when someone wants to get through something, right? Let's say you're trying to get in somewhere and you go through unnoticed and you're like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have been able to get through so easily. But a lot of you could actually get through a lot easier if you just keep your mind and your thoughts positive, as opposed to creating the anxiety and the addiction that, oh my God, I can't get through. Oh my God, I can't get past. Oh my God. You're more equipped and talented and skilled to surpass than you give yourself credit. That's honestly and truly. Some of these things that are coming up as obstacles, as things that might be coming up as barriers for you, I feel like we've been here before, right? And that's why now it's like a test of, well, how secure are you going to be? How bold are you going to be? How are you going to communicate with your guides that you trust them enough, that you trust what they're giving you now to move forward without creating excess amount of anxiety and fucking addiction to creating a problem when there doesn't need to be one. Creating a problem when there doesn't need to be one, right? Creating a problem when there doesn't need to be one. Let's pull a card on top of that. Prioritize. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. Some of y'all, I think, when it comes to the obstacles, you're more concerned about the obstacle than your priority to get over it. So, like, again, when it's like getting past something, you're making it a bigger deal that you don't think you can get past it than your ability to get past it. Again, like, I keep thinking about like trying to get into a club when you were like underage and you were just like creating such an anxiety about it, like, oh my God, they're gonna, and it's just like, just play it cool. What's your priority? Your priority is to get in. So do what you must to make your focus on the positive as opposed to the negative. Like, you're going to surpass a lot of these things now, calm, cool, and collective. But if you prioritize creating the fucking anxiety, then all you're gonna do is drive yourself fucking insane. And so it comes to the last card, Nine of Think. She's like sitting up in her bed and she's just like sleepless and just like anxiety ridden. Like, why the fuck? And the cat's just looking at her like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Right? What does cat symbolism mean? Let's look up the cat. Cat spiritual meaning. First of all, cats always land on their feet. And then the whole thing about cats having 9 lives. Always landing on your feet. Always knowing that you have the ability to transform, recreate, rebirth, and if you have the ability to trust that within yourself, then why couldn't you get to what it is that you want? Cat. Cats are incredibly psychic, and working with feline energy will help to develop your intuition. Traditionally linked with witches, cats are both tame and wild, symbolizing the harnessing of natural powers throughout magic. Cats combine sensuality and sensitivity. They teach us to balance the physical world with a deep awareness of nature and spirit. Ache, because that first card, Child of Earth, right? Getting to the things that you desire. How are you going to get to them with anxiety? Know that you can develop this connection to spiritual realm, to pay attention, to be present, to be guided intuitively by things, right? That you're being connected to be guide you along the path. And as long as you have this awareness and deep sense that spirit is present, spirit is aware and around you and trying to guide you, that's all you need to have all the cognitive answers that you need to get to where you're trying to go. I think some of you guys underestimate your intelligence. Whew, you really underestimate your intelligence. And how do you expect to succeed if you're undermining your own intelligence? It's bad enough if someone else tries to insult your intelligence, but the fact that you are trying to insult your own, that's just adding injury to insult. So, clarity card on top of that, comfort. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. I feel like a lot of us at times have had hard times overcoming obstacles, okay? We've had a hard time, bridging the gaps between where we are, where we want to go. And yes, there's been times where maybe you haven't made the best decisions, you haven't tapped into your highest intelligence. But if you take the time and slowly know that there is a way for you to create your prosperity and bridge the gap between the storm and the obstacles and where you're trying to go, you will succeed. Even if it's slowly, it's better than not trying at all. So a lot of people are going to get to the river. They're going to get to the base of the mountain. They're going to be in the valley, right? And they're going to sit there. One time I watched a sermon by Joel Osteen, and he said, often your blessings come when you are in the valley. They ain't coming on the other side of the valley. God wants you to know that you're being watched, and what is your determination to get yourself out of the valley? If you have no sense of determination, no will, no prioritization to put your thoughts on where you're taking your mind to, which is higher than where you're at, then you're never going to get out of the valley. If you're in the valley and your mind is focused on staying in the valley, your ass is going to stay in the valley. But if you are in the valley and your mind is that you have risen out of it, your mind's already where you want to be. So a lot of y'all are focused on the insecurity of where you feel unsafe and not prioritizing where you're trying to go. You are the answer. You are the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. And regardless if you've had failure, regardless if you've not been able to clearly come to these answers in the past, quiet yourself, center yourself, calm yourself, and ask for the guidance so that you may hear and you may trust yourself to move past these obstacles like nothing this time. Okay. I'm talking 37 minutes. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's pull open from the Joyce Meyer Confident Woman. And it's funny because I was trying to pick that up and 3 cards fell out of my angel deck on the ground, and I feel like I might as well give them to you. First card, clairaudience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Archangel Zadkiel. Inside your mind from other people. The loving guidance, not the criticism, right? Not the criticism that tells you, oh, bitch, you in the valley. Your ass can't get up out of here. No, the loving guidance that tells you, oh my God, there's something I can put my foot on here. There's something I can, oh yes, you're doing it. Because the 2 cards that also fell out, prosperity, Archangel Ariel, your material needs are provided as you follow your intuition and manifest your dreams into reality. And victory, Archangel Sandalphon, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. You are not going to get to the prosperity and the victory if you keep listening to a voice in your head or the voice of devils that you're trying to overcome, that you ain't finna make it, that you're unsafe, that you can't, that you, all that addictive thinking to shit that's telling you that you can't, it's a no-go. So we're going to put those there. And we're going to pull from Joyce Meyer, The Confident Woman Devotional. We're going to seal this reading off with a closing from that. Let's see where they point us to. The prayer of petition. So the scripture is, "For this reason I am telling you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe, trust, and be confident that it is granted to you and you will get it." Mark 11:24. This prayer is by far the most, let's repeat this. This prayer is by far the most often used. When we petition God, we ask for something for ourselves. When we pray for others, we are interceding. Most of us, sorry to say, are overly interested in ourselves. For that reason, we frequently exercise our right to petition God. It is, of course, not wrong to ask God to do things for us, but our petition should be well balanced with praise and thanksgiving. It is important to petition God about our future, to pray and ask for help in allowing us to succeed at being ourselves. Our success won't come through personal struggle or vain effort. It will only come as a result of God's grace. You and I must add our effort to grace, but effort without grace is useless. Grace comes as a result of asking for it. Asking is praying the prayer of petition. You and I can be bold in petitioning God for any type of need in our lives. We are not restricted to a certain number of requests per day. We can feel at ease to talk to God about anything that concerns us. Spirit, you call me into your presence, and I come to you as my Creator with my request. I am confident you are listening and that you will grant the desires of my heart. Amen. So the parts that stick out to me most in regards to what has been said thus far is, it is important to petition God about our future, to pray and ask for help in allowing us to succeed at being ourselves. Our success won't come through personal struggle or vain effort. It will only come as a result of God's grace. You and I must add effort to grace, but effort without grace is useless. Y'all can be sitting at the fucking edge of the river in the base of the mountain. If you don't put some effort on top of motherfucking God's grace, how the fuck you gonna get over that shit? God is always there to grant you grace. Spirit's always there to grant you grace. But sometimes it's about your effort to gain, to want the prosperity, to want the victory. And it often comes for you to be in a place of security and not addicted to the fact that, okay, I petitioned God. All right, I threw some prayer on it. But did you throw some motherfucking action on it? You're praying to overcome your obstacles, but have you taken one foot towards moving out of the valley? Have you taken one step to overcoming the river? Have you come to overcoming the... When you want to overcome, ain't nothing going to stop you. You feel me? Ain't nothing going to stop you.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. You need me,
Call on who? Your God, Spirit. But that grace you looking for, it ain't coming without a little bit of effort. How bad do you want to get to your higher self? How bad do you want to get to the things that are due for you? Let me tell you something. There's a quote, right, that says, grace can take you farther than hustle can. Grace will take you farther than hustle can. I believe that's what it is, right? Because even if you out here hustling right now, if you ain't got no faith in God's grace for you to overcome these obstacles you in, you just hustling out here in vain. If you have no faith in God's grace, all that hustling and grinding and lack of confidence ain't finna take you nowhere. 88% on my computer. Obatala. Patience, wisdom, a calm, cool demeanor. If you out here stressing and anxiety ridden right now, you ain't trusting enough in God's grace. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're in a place of security, and although you might be only a foot into the river that you're trying to overcome, stay steadfast. Stay in that determination that your prayers are going to be answers. The petitions that you have put forth, that if you are putting effort, your prosperity is waiting for you. That victory is waiting for you. That bridge, you creating that bridge. God, God is only going to provide you with the guidance and the clarity to look within yourself to find the power and the tools to create that motherfucking bridge yourself. Let's see something. Bridge. The Bridge Over Troubled Water song came in my head. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll dry them all. I'm on your side when times get rough and friends can't be found. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when even falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part when darkness comes and pain is all around. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. I almost feel like you can lay it all down. You could petition spirit, and spirit's going to help you, but you got to be aware that you are the answer, right? They'll give you the clues, they'll give you the indication, but just don't expect the miracle to come. Expect yourself to have to put a sense of security and that foot fucking forward. You want the world is yours. But what are you willing to overcome and to stay in this place of wonder to get to it? Anyway, I feel like that's good enough. 47:38. Yep. I feel like this new moon in Aries, as we're going to start approaching that full moon in Libra, second month in a row, we got a chance, because I still think that a lot of us are second guessing ourselves about overcoming these final obstacles before we hit full steam ahead. There's a lot of victory and prosperity coming, but that's that being addicted to that old sense of insecurity and the failures of the past, and maybe where you've been hurt and where you psyched yourself out and you don't think now you can surpass that shit now, like a G. Get past it. Get past security, right? You gotta be secure in yourself that you're gonna get past this shit that you think is securely blocking you off. Ain't no fucking shit securing you off from nothing. You waiting to get on the other side. You waiting to get into where you're trying to get to next. It's just gonna take a little bit of extra confidence, I feel like. I kind of want to put one more card. Let's see. 3 of Create. Take them steps. Look, she's got a scroll in her hand. Let's look in the book. Let's look in the book at this. I don't really like looking at the book for cards, but let's look at the 3 of Create. The 3 of Create description. With one foot firmly on the ground, the woman in 3 of Create takes the first step. She holds her plans in her hand, prepared for her new adventure. The woman in 3 of Create takes care of business in a mature way, making plans and anticipating problems in advance, so she's prepared to deal with them should she come up upon them. She's hardworking, active, and adventurous, always looking for new opportunities in business and in her personal life. When 3 of Create shows up in your reading, you're being called to take the first step towards your endeavor. It's scary, but you can do it. You've checked out the situation and made the plan. Time to put it into action. Ache, spirit. It's on you. You're going to take the first step, across the river, up the mountain, towards everything that you want, creating the bridge, the rainbow bridge, to the pot of gold, to prosperity, to the victory that you could surpass incognito, way past these things without anxiety because you know what you're capable of. What the fuck you got to worry about then? That's it. I feel like a lot of y'all get out of your head in a negative way and get into your head in a positive way. As you are taking up space with negative thoughts, you can be making space for positive thoughts, solutions. How you gonna figure it out? Because every time you're creating this anxiety that's keeping you up at night, you could be sitting down making a plan. Okay, you know what? I made the plan. I'm gonna go to sleep easy at night because you know what? I got a plan. I'm finna figure it out. My mom said to me recently, she said, "You know what I noticed about you?" I said, "What's that?" She goes, "You always saying now, I'll figure it out." And I said, "Yeah, because I will figure it out. It don't matter how much of a fucking problem now comes. I'm going to figure it out. Some way, somehow, I'm going to figure it out." So, with that being said, we are going to close it off. And I hope that it has helped you. For those of you who have been looking for some clarity, and for those of you who are wanting to book with me, like I said, go ahead, secure your session via www.thetrapwitch.com. And I will be booking now after June 6th. So first come, first serve based on my schedule. But I look forward to working with many of y'all, and I hope this resonates for you. Happy New Moon in Aries. Bye.